I fell in love with music in general and rock and roll in particular when the Beatles were first on Ed Sullivan. That's my generation's sort of campfire story, you know, where were you when? And we all saw that performance and we all took something different away. But a lot of us looked at that and said, I want to do that. I want that haircut, I want that guitar, I want those drums, and I want to try this for myself. Not ever realizing how hard it is. You had an audience. You had people who were interested in playing the music, the musicians themselves. You had venues that supported live music. And also, in the case of Champaign, Urbana, you had recording studios so that that music could be recorded and supported. But it had it because there were people that wanted to do it so bad. Not just the musicians, but the club owners, the people who ran the recording studios, people who ran the record stores that supported the local musicians who made records. And that's very common in that central university town. The Champagnes, the Madisons, the Ann Arbors of the United States. And to a lesser extent, it's still true today.
There were clubs that were forming, and there was a club called Chances Are. And Chances Are was started at the suggestion of the guitar player for the One Eye Jacks. And some local investors got together, headed up by a guy named Bub Bartholomew, and they took a warehouse in Old Town and converted it into a 4 or 5 level club. And this was the longest running what you'd call a rock and roll beer emporium in the Midwest, if not the country, at one time. And it's now, I think it's now Chester Street. So I think that happened, and shortly after Chances Are started, a club called the Red Lion came out, and then and was very successful. It was right there on 3rd and Green Street, and we we were just here at the right time, and the University of Illinois just had a lot of talent, and people were into music because obviously that was culturally where we were coming from. I mean, we grew up in the Beatles generation. So, you know, when I was 13 years old, I saw the Beatles for the first time, and it was like, oh my God, you know, this would be fun. What a cool way to make some money. So a lot of us put ourselves through college at that time, and I think being in a rock band gave me a lot of pleasure. You know, I mean, it was, and the people I met some incredibly talented people, and it was a big supportive fraternity for those of us who were students and also, you know, musicians.
I would say it was, yeah, there were so many influences going on. I remember the National Guard on campus. I remember, you know, Green Street being closed down and bands playing on that, and the freedomness of expression and all of that. And the Vietnam War and all that. So it was a cultural thing that we just sort of were all swept up into. But and it was the uniqueness, I suppose, was the music scene that was very healthy, and everybody supported each other in that regard. So, but being part of it was very unique, and still is being a part of it. I think that if we had any kind of contribution, was that everybody was pushing each other in a healthy competition to get better and better and better at this. And it was led by REO Speedwagon. They played 1,000 miles an hour, and they were tight and exciting, and they kept every day, every week was better for them, and so that was an influence on everybody else. I think it was unique, and it's proven in the fact that there was a lot of music that came out of this town that's still around with REO Speedwagon and the Champaign Band. I was a member in that when it very first started. Champaign had a lot of good success, and more power to them. Head East came out of here, Starcastle came out of here. So I think the 1965 younger students influenced from the Vietnam War, all these things kind of came together in this geographic area, and it was an interesting time.